What's up, everybody? Kristen Feemster here, licensed therapist and wellness coach, and welcome to our talk today around body disconnection. Body disconnection is basically an internalized belief around your body image, unhealed traumas that you've gone through, or even a coping mechanism that you have acquired to help you deal with your emotions. Whatever the originating factor may be, body disconnection means that we are not able to listen intuitively to what our body is needing or communicating to us. All right. Sometimes we may think that we are, but then if I give you the signs, which I will later in this video, we can start to realize like, maybe I'm not as connected as I thought I was. Maybe this is a growth area for me. And so if that sounds like you, I'm also going to give you all some tips at the end of this video on things you can start to practice to be more intentional with connecting with your body. Being disconnected from your body can be caused by something that caused you shame or low self-esteem, but it can also perpetuate and cause more shame, more low self-esteem, as well as eating disorders, disordered eating habits, and other mental health conditions. When it comes to body disconnection, there's typically an element of objectification going on mentally for us. So that means that we have internalized the belief that our bodies are meant to be used, abused, looked at, used for other people's observation and for pleasure, to be controlled, to be shaped, to be anything other than just experienced and loved with compassion and kindness. Now, I want to differentiate what we're going to talk about today from some other areas within an umbrella, I guess you could say, of body disconnection, and one of those being disassociation. Disassociation is a response that people have to extreme forms of trauma in their life. It's attached to the fight, flight, or freeze type of defense mechanism when going through a trauma, but it can also be a lingering effect of having experienced trauma. So disassociation means that we can have a feeling of checking out or not fully being present when something is occurring, or when we are thinking about something that we went through, we can disassociate. And then we have on the other side, or just in a different realm, emotional disconnection, which is not knowing how you're feeling emotionally about things, feeling numb, feeling suppressed, feeling subdued, or just feeling neutral and indifferent about a lot of different things. And so all of those things are under the umbrella of body disconnection. But the way we're going to talk about it today is the ways that body disconnection shows up in our daily decisions and behaviors throughout the day. You know, things that when you're more mindful, you might actually catch as being something important and to listen to. It's really interesting how, because of where our minds go, we kind of get busy throughout the day, or we just have never learned to slow down and prioritize our own personal well-being, that we can go through the day and really have not heard or listened to our bodies at all about certain things. So let me give you all some signs that you are disconnected from your body. Number one, and I love starting with this one because I just feel like everybody can relate to this one, holding your bladder when you have to go to the bathroom. That is a telltale sign of disconnecting from your body. I know we see it as a skill. I can hold it. You know, we kind of like see it as like something cool. Like, I'll be fine. I can hold it until we get there. But literally, that is your body saying that it needs something from you, right? But what happens? We don't want to be an inconvenience, or we get distracted with something else, or we think that something else is just more important or more pressing than us actually going to the bathroom. And ultimately, that can lead to concerns for our health down the line. But even without that, it's just a disregard for something that our bodies physically need from us. The second one I'll mention is exercising through pain, ailments, and injuries. This is a major one that I see, you know, as a fitness coach and being in that realm of people who have aches and pains that they haven't gotten checked out yet, or that they've just been living with for a very long time, and they've kind of gotten accustomed to moving through pain. I do think there's an element of discomfort that can come with exercise, just by way of using your bodies in ways that you don't normally use them, or, you know, challenging your muscles in ways that are safe. I think that's different than actually exercising through pain. Or I've had people more recently, post-pandemic, exercising when they have COVID, or exercising when you're literally sick, for fear of not wanting to get off track and not wanting to lose whatever gains or progress that they made. But exercising when you're sick is counterintuitive to what your body actually needs for you to do, which is to rest and recover. So that's a major one that I see both on the ailment injury side, but also the illness side of just not wanting to listen. And I think the fear is that if I listen to my body now, then I'm going to get off track and then I'm going to have to catch up. But it's like if your body is asking for rest and recovery, maybe that's going to be an asset to you down the line. Number three, another one that I love to say because I just feel like it's so relevant, is forgetting to eat and drink all day or at all or just any time, right? What happens? We wake up, we start our day, we probably scroll on Instagram, scroll on a social media platform, right? And the next thing you know, we are running late, or maybe we just slept through our alarm anyway. Now we're up, we're racing, we're getting your kids ready, you're getting ready for your day, whatever that includes. And now you're out the door and you go to work, whatever your errands are, you're working. Next thing you know, it's 2:30, 3:30, and you have not stopped to eat or drink at all. Now, I hear a lot of people say, I'm just not hungry. I just didn't feel hungry at all. I'm never hungry until later in the day. I would suggest that if that person or you were to slow down and become more mindful at your waking point throughout the day when you feel very busy, I would imagine that you might feel like you're hungry sooner than 2, 3, 4 o'clock. That doesn't mean that you haven't conditioned yourself to be able to make it until later in the day. But if you're experiencing fatigue, headaches, mental fog, you feel like you're dragging, whatever the ailment issue may be, it could likely be because you haven't stopped to properly fuel and nourish your body for the day. And that will require being more in tune with your hunger cues and being more in tune with how lack of nourishment, lack of hydration actually shows up for you. Another one that I love to mention is fighting sleep so that you can stay up at night. Now, just in reference to, like I said, with my third point, we are super busy, a lot of us, during the day. We are ripping and running, and usually it's for the benefit or for the priority of something else, work, or as a caregiver, helping someone else, doing something for someone else. And then the day starts to end. It's, getting later in the evening and the night, things are starting to wind down, and you are sleepy. You are tired from the day that you just had, but you're also wrestling with, this is my only time to do anything for myself. I should stay up and binge watch this show. I should stay up and doom scroll on my phone. I should stay up and read, whatever the situation must be. But it is fighting the fact that your body needs rest and recovery. So I know this is a hard decision to make. I still try and work on it myself, but perhaps letting your body rest and get some sleep is going to be most beneficial to you, even if it feels like you're sacrificing your own me time. I would suggest that taking that time away from your sleep bank is not really as effective. I would say what is really needed is boundaries with the other areas of your life so that they're not sucking the life out of you. But if that is not possible, not feasible, or is a work in progress, definitely don't shortchange your sleep, because that just sets you up for another chaotic, low energy, tired morning the next day. I think it just really gets in the way of you taking care of your own personal body. And the last one, waiting until you're completely burned out to take a break. This one's a tough one because you never really know when the burnout started. It's really hard to pinpoint, okay, I'm feeling in crisis now. I'm feeling like I'm in complete burnout, rock bottom, couldn't do another thing now. And so I'm going to take a mental health day, or I'm just going to crash for the weekend. But we have to start to think about, when did the slow drip of burnout start to happen? And y'all, this could be weeks, months, or years in the making as to how you have found yourself at a crash and burn moment. But I know that if we were to listen to our bodies more often, slow down and become more mindful of what's going on with us, we would at least be able to catch that crash and burn a little earlier. Maybe we can start to learn what the signs are of burnout, that you're headed that way, and listen to them earlier. So for example, maybe when you're headed towards burnout, your body becomes more tense. Maybe you start to notice more lower back pain, shoulder tightness, whatever the case is. You might start to notice those things a little bit earlier on and say, you know what, let me stop and do some self-care. Let me stop and relax for a little bit, because I feel my body telling me that the stress and the overwhelm is getting to be too much. So on that note, let me give you all some tips on what you can do to start connecting with your body. Number one, this is the very first thing I want you to start trying, is setting your alarm and setting reminders. I know these examples that I gave of signs of body disconnection feel so trivial that it's like, I'll just not do that anymore. I'll just do better, and I'll just remember, and I'll just go to the bathroom, and I'll just cut my TV off at a certain time. I know it seems easy, but do yourself a favor and allow something to help you remember. The task itself may not be all that big of a deal, but the remembering part with everything else that you have going on throughout any given day or week is typically the challenge. And if you're not used to remembering, you're going to have to practice being more mindful and remembering. And I think setting alarms and reminders, it's not going to make you get up out of your seat and carry you to the bathroom, but it at least puts you on notice and puts it on your radar that, oh yeah, this is when I need to start stopping to check in if my body needs anything before I move forward with my day. The second thing I want you to do is slow down whenever you can. Practice more mindfulness around just your day-to-day activities that you may be involved in. So you don't need to go create opportunities to slow down. You don't need to go and have yoga if you don't have time for that. You don't need to invest in some, deep meditation course if you don't have time for that. What you can do is you can practice your same exact daily living activities and tasks, but practice slowing down when you're doing them. So that could be slowing down taking a shower. It could be slowing down and being more intentional with your skincare routine or your oral care routine. It could be slowing down to actually eat your food and be more mindful of that instead of scarfing it down in the car. You see what I'm saying? So try to implement this on things that you're already doing so that it doesn't feel like it's like another overwhelming thing to do throughout your day. And lastly, what I'll say that you can do that will help overall is to make self-care proactive and structured rather than a crisis response plan. So this takes a little bit more learning and practicing and more routine to really master, but we got to start somewhere, okay? And so a lot of times people use self-care as a reactive, burnout reprieve type of situation, when really self-care is a maintenance thing. It's something that should be implemented in regularly enough so that when moments come of overwhelm and stress and other things, that you are actually just in a different realm, in a different space as you encounter those things. All right. So taking care of your body over time is going to help you not to have that crash and burn moment mentally or physically that you're not necessarily prepared for. Okay. So this could look like, if you are struggling with a certain ailment, doing proactive exercises that are going to keep you from hurting yourself, right? Stretching and mobility work, those are all things that are going to help you to prevent having to exercise through pain ever, or to help you heal from whatever the ailment is instead of just seeing it as like a life sentence. So those daily stretches and that time that you take to just slow down is all going to help you understand where your body is and what it needs from you moving forward. This could also apply to feeling like you have to steal your me time at the end of the day. If you are scheduling out self-care, again, as much as possible and whatever is most realistic for you, if you can at least have something to look forward to on your schedule that is consistent, that can help you not feel like you have to use every waking moment to try to steal that time back. So if I know that Thursday night is my night where I don't have to worry about my normal nightly duties, I can then commit to just going to sleep and waiting until Thursday, knowing that that moment in time for self-care is going to be coming. It makes for a much more peaceful lifestyle, and it makes for a lot less resentment around the things that you're doing to show up for other people. All right, you guys, thank you for joining me for our talk around body disconnection. I hope that you found some gems and some nuggets that you can take with you. And if this resonated with you, I highly encourage you to go ahead and take advantage of the tips that I gave at the end of this video and start practicing them in real time. I promise you, with intentionality, you can start to change the relationship that you have with your body. Okay, thank you, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.